Good afternoon, and welcome to East Theater Company's production of Chicago Teen Edition. I'm Lillian McLaughlin, and I'm the student director for this production. I just have a couple things to go through before we get started. Please place your phones on silent and on airplane mode to not interfere with our sound system. Please, no flash photography. Normal photography and videography is welcome, but make sure the flash is off. Please keep the aisles clear, as the actors will use them during the production. Take a moment to locate the nearest exit around you in case of emergency. There will be a 15-minute intermission for this show. And at the end, if you do not plan to keep your program, we have bins outside that you can recycle them, so please do that. I would now like to take a moment to ask any East teachers in the audience to please stand. I want to thank you for all the hard work you do to support our students. I now would like to warn the audience that during the show, there is use of prop weapons, scenes that depict murder or violence, loud noises that include gunshots, fast-changing lights, and sexual situations. This show, when it was written, and now more than ever, is a satire and a form of escapism. So I hope you can escape with me to 1924 Chicago. Please enjoy the show.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are about to witness a story of murder, greed, corruption, violence, exploitation, adultery, and treachery. All those things we hold near and dear to our hearts. Thank you.
Come on, babe, why don't we paint the town? And all that jazz, I'm gonna rouge my knees and roll my stockings down. And all that jazz, start the car. I know a whoopee spot where the gin is cold but the piano's hot. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all that jazz. Slick your hair and wear your buckle shoes. And all that jazz, I hear that Father Dip is gonna blow the blues. and all that jazz. Hold on, hun, we're gonna bunny hug. I bought some aspirin down at United Drug in case you shake apart and want a brand new start to do that jazz. And all that jazz.
Cha-cha.
And all that jazz. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all that jazz.
Listen, your husband ain't home, is he?
No, her husband is not at home. Find a flask, we're playing fast and loose.
And all that jazz.
Right up here is where I store the juice.
I have to give the cigarette to Velma, so can I grab it?
And all that jazz. Come on, babe, we're gonna brush the sky. I bet you lucky Lindy never flew so high. 'Cause in the stratosphere, how could he lend an ear to all that? Oh, you're gonna see a shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. And all that jazz. Hey. Oh, she's gonna shimmy till her garters break. And all that jazz. Show her wearing a Parker girdle. Oh, her mother's bloody girdle. If she'd hear her baby's queer for all that jazz. Come on, babe, why don't we paint the town and all that jazz? I'm gonna ruse my knees and roll my stockings down and all that jazz. Start the car, I know a whoopee spot where the gin is cold but the piano's hot. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all that. So that's final, huh, Fred?
I'm afraid so, Roxy.
Oh, Fred. Oh, Fred! Nobody walks out on me.
Oh, but sweetheart.
Don't sweetheart me, you son of a... I gotta pee. No, I'm no one's wife, but oh, I love my life and all that jazz. That jazz.
So I took the gun, officer, and I shot him.
I see. And your wife, Roxanne Hart, was in no way involved. Is that right?
That's right, officer.
Okay. Well, aren't you the cheerful little murderer?
Murderer? Why, just last week the jury thanked the man for shooting the burglar.
Well, that's just fine. Sign right here, Mr. Hart.
Freely and gladly. Freely and gladly.
And now for her first number, Miss Roxy Hart will sing a song of love and devotion, dedicated to her dear husband, Amos.
Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, but he doesn't care. He'll string along. He loves me so, that funny honey of mine. Sometimes I'm down, sometimes I'm up, but he follows round like some droopy-eyed pup. He loves me so, that funny honey of mine. He ain't no chic, that's no great physique, and Lord knows he ain't got the smarts. Oh, but look at that soul. I tell you, that whole is a whole lot greater than the sum of his parts. And if you knew him like me, well, I know you'd agree. What if the world slandered my name? Why, he'd be right there, taking the blame. He loves me so, and it all suits me fine. That funny, sunny, honey hubby of mine.
A man got a right to protect his home and loved ones, right?
Of course he has.
Well, I come in from the garage the other day, and I see my wife Roxanne there sleeping like an angel. An angel. And
He
he's in the window.
loves me so, that funny honey of mine.
I mean, just supposing. He violated her or something. You know what I mean? Violated?
I know what you mean.
Or something. Just think how terrible that would have been. And good thing I got home from work on time. I'm telling you that. I say I'm telling you that.
He loves me so, that funny honey of mine.
Fred Casely.
Fred Casely? How could he be a burglar? My wife knows him. He sold us our
Lord
furniture.
knows he ain't got the smarts.
She lied to me. She told me he was a burglar.
You mean he was dead when you got home?
Well, she had him covered with the sheet, and she's telling me this cock and bull story about a burglar and how I
Now
ought to
he
say
shut
I
off
done it
his
because
trap.
I was sure to get out.
I can't stand
Burglar,
that
huh?
sap, so look at him go,
So she was two-timing me, huh?
ratting on me.
Well, she
with
can just swing
one
for all
more
I care.
brain.
Boy,
What
I'm down at the garage
would
working my
he
butt off,
be
14 hours a
if
day,
they
and she's
string
up
me
there
up?
munching on bonbons
Oh,
and jazzing.
no. I'll know who brought
Well,
the
this time
twine.
she's pushed me too far. That little
That
shizzler, boy, what a
scummy,
sap I was.
crummy,
Ugh.
Dummy hubby of mine. Ah, you double crosser! You said you'd stick. You disloyal husband. You want to know what happened? I shot him without any book palsy, and you want to know why? He was trying to walk out on me.
Well, that's a pretty cold-blooded murder, Mrs. Hart. They're liable to hang you for that one.
Hang me?
Not so tough anymore, are you?
Oh, Amos, did you hear what he said? Hail Mary, full of grace.
Get her out of here. Get her.
Merry Murderesses of the Cook County Jail and their edition of the Cell Block Tango.
Pop. 6. Squish. Cicero. Lip shits. 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 He had it coming. He had it coming. He only had himself to blame. If you'd have been there, if you'd have seen it, I betcha you would have done the same. Pop, 6, squish, Cicero, shits.
You know how people have those little habits that get you down? Like Bernie. Bernie liked to chew gum. No, not chew. Pop. Well, I come home this one day, and I'm really irritated and looking for a little sympathy. And there's Bernie, laying on the couch, drinking a beer and chewing. No, not chewing, popping. So I said to him, I said, Bernie, you pop that gum one more time. And he did. So I took the shotgun off the wall and fired 2 warning shots into his head.
He had it coming. He had it coming. He only had himself to blame. If you'd have been there, if you'd have heard it, I bet you would have done the same.
I met Ezekiel Young from Salt Lake City about 2 years ago, and he told me he was single and we hit it off right away. Well, we started living together. He'd go to work, he'd come home, I'd fix him his drink, and we'd have dinner. It was like heaven in 2.5 rooms. And then I found out. Single, he told me. Single my ass. Not only was he married, oh no, he had 6 wives. One of those Mormons, you know? So that night, when he came home, I mixed him his drink as usual. You know, some guys just can't hold their arsenic.
He had it coming. He had it coming. He took a flower in its prime, and then he used it, and he abused it. It was a murder, but not a crime.
Now I'm standing in the kitchen, carving up the chicken and minding my own business. And in storms my husband Wilbur in a jealous rage. "You've been seeing the milkman," he said. Well, he was crazy and he wouldn't stop screaming, "You've been seeing the milkman!" And then he ran into my knife. He ran into my knife 10 times!
If you'd have been there, if you'd have seen it, I bet you would have done the same.
Mit kerstekin it. Asmonja hogi aires la kem le fog da fershemet. En meg leksta tama fejet. De nem igazin arletan vagshok. Nem tudom mert monja Uncle Sam. Hogi atetem. Probaltam arrendorsken meg magzirani de nem. Ertetek meg.
Yeah, but did you do it?
Not guilty.
My sister Veronica and I did this double act, and my husband Charlie traveled around with us. Now for the last number in our act, we did these 20 acrobatic tricks in a row. 1, 2, 4, 5 splits, spread eagles, backflips, one right after the other. Well, this one night, we were in Cicero, the 3 of us, having a few laughs, and we ran out of ice. So I went out to get some. I come back, open the door, and there's Veronica and Charlie doing number 17. Well, I was in such a state of shock. I completely blacked out. I can't remember a thing. It wasn't until later when I was washing the blood off my hands, I even knew they were dead. They had it coming. They had it coming. They had it coming all along. I didn't do it, but if I'd done it, how could you tell me that I was wrong? They had it coming. 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 They took a flower and it's right. I didn't do it, and then they used it. But if I'd done it, they abused it. How could you tell me that I was wrong?
I loved Alvin Lipschitz. I mean, more than I can possibly say. He was a real artistic guy, sensitive, a painter. But he was troubled. He was always trying to find himself. He'd go out every night looking for himself. And on the way, he found Ruth, Gladys, Rosemary, and Irving. I guess you could say we broke up because of artistic differences. He saw himself as alive and I saw him dead. Dirty bum 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 bum. The dirty bum 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 bum. They had it come. They had it come. They had it come. They had it come. They only had it come. And then they used us. And then they used us. And they abused us. And they abused us. How could you tell us that we were wrong? He had it come. He had it come. He had it come. He had it come. He only had to blame. If you'd have been there, if you'd have been there, if you'd have seen it, if you'd have seen it, I bet you would have done the same.
You pop that gum one more time.
Single my ass.
10 times!
Number 17.
Artistic differences.
I bet you would have done the same.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the keeper of the keys, the countess of the clink, the mistress of Murderers Row, matron, Mama Morton!
Ask any of the chickies in my pen. They'll tell you I'm the biggest mother hen. I love them all and all of them love me. Because the system works, the system called reciprocity. Got a little motto, always sees me through. When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. There's a lot of favors I'm prepared to do. You do one for mama, she'll do one for you. They say that life is tit for tat, and that's the way I live. So I deserve a lot of tat for what I've got to give. Don't you know that this hand washes that one too? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you.
Look at this, Mama. The Tribune calls me the crime of the year. The news says, not in recent memory do we recall so fiendish and horrible a double homicide.
Oh, baby, you can't buy that kind of publicity. You took care of mama, and mama took care of you. I talked to Flynn. He set your trial date for March the 5th. March 7th, you'll be acquitted. On March 8th, you know what mama's gonna do for you? She's gonna set you up on a vaudeville tour.
I've been on a lot of vaudeville tours. What kind of dough are we talking about?
Well, I've been getting some calls from the boys at William Morris, and due to your recent sensational activities, I can get you $2,500.
$2,500? Me and Veronica never made more than $350.
Well, that was before Cicero, before Billy Flynn, and before Mama.
Mama, I always wanted to play Big Jim Coliseumos. Could you do that for me?
Big Jim's? Well, that's another story. That might take another phone call.
And how much would that phone call cost?
You know how I feel about you. You're like family. I'll do it for $50.
$50 for a phone call? You must get a lot of wrong numbers, Mama.
If you want my gravy, pepper my ragu. Spice it up for mama, she'll get hot for you. So what's the one conclusion I can bring this number to? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. I have time for all of you. Yeah, I barely have time for myself. I don't know what I'm saying. Hey, Mama. You get in here. Let yourself in.
You think I can?
Hey, you! Out of my seat. Get.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Roxy, this here is Velma Kelly.
Velma Kelly? The Velma Kelly? Oh, gosh. I read about you in the papers all the time. Miss Kelly, can I ask you something?
What?
The assistant district attorney, Mr. Harrison, said what I'd done was a hanging case and he's prepared to ask the maximum penalty. I sure would appreciate some advice.
Look, I don't give no advice. And I don't take no advice either. You're a perfect stranger to me, and let's keep it that way.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Roxy, relax. In this town, murder is a form of entertainment. Besides, in 47 years, Cook County has never hung a woman. So the odds are 47-1. They won't hang you.
There's always a first.
Oh. So, Roxy, what are you planning on using for grounds? What are you going to tell the jury? Guess I just tell them the truth.
Whew. Telling the jury the truth. Yeah, that's really stupid.
Oh, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, what am I going to do?
Well, you're talking to the wrong people.
You see, Roxy, it's this way. Murder is like divorce. The reason don't matter, it's the grounds that count. Temporary insanity, self-defense. So what are your grounds?
My grounds that I didn't do it.
Then who did?
Well, I'm sure I don't know. I passed out completely. I can't remember a thing. I have the tenderest heart in the world. Don't I, Mama?
You bet your ass you have, Velma. Let's go. Okay. So that's Velma Kelly. Ooh, ain't she something? She wears nothing but black Narcissus perfume and never makes her own bed. I take care of that for her.
You make her bed?
Well, not exactly. You see, Velma gives me $5 a week to do it, and then I pay the Hungarian 50 cents. Cattle and Hunyak. Césaire nam a mengis mer Roxy Hart ot. Not guilty. That's all she ever says. Anyway, you know who's defending Velma Kelly, don't you?
Who?
Mr. Billy Flynn, the best criminal lawyer in all of Chicago. That's who.
I see. And how do you get this Flynn guy?
Well, you start by giving me $100, and then I make a phone call.
I see. And how much does he get?
$5,000.
$5,000.
I would be happy to make that phone call for you, dearie.
$5,000. Now, where the hell am I going to get $5,000?
Ladies and gentlemen, a tap dance.
Oh, Amos, I knew you'd come. I've been sinful, but I want to make up to you for what I've done. And I can just as soon as I get out of here. And I will, too. You see, there's this lawyer, and he costs $5,000.
Roxy, I am tired of your fancy footwork. The answer is no.
Look, I know I've lied. I know I've cheated on you. I've even stolen money from your pants pockets while you were sleeping once.
You did?
But I never stopped loving you. Not my Amos, so manly and attractive, so I'm embarrassed. Sexy.
But $5,000.
It's my hour of need.
Okay. I'll get it for you, Roxy. I'll get it for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the silver-tongued prince of the courtroom, the one, the only, Mr. Billy Flynn.
B-I-double-L-Y. We're all his. He's our kind of a guy. And ooh, what luck, 'cause here he is.
Is everybody here? Is everybody ready? Hit it! I don't care about expense, cashmere coats, diamond rings, don't mean a thing. All I care about is love. That's what he's here for. I don't care for wearing silk cravats, ruby studs, satin spats, don't mean a thing. All I care about is love.
All he cares about is love.
Give me 2 eyes of blue, softly saying,
I need you.
oh yeah. Let me see her standing there and Honest mister, I'm a millionaire. I don't care for any fine attire. Vanderbilt might admire. Don't mean a thing. All I care about is love.
All he cares about is love.
It may sound odd. All I care about is love. That's what I'm here for. Yuppa duppa da da doo doo doo. Ya da ba ba da doo doo doo. Honest to God, all I care about is love.
All he cares about is love.
Show me long rave flowing down about to there. When I see her running free, keep your money, that's enough for me. I don't care for driving Packard cars or smoking buck cigars. No, no, not me. All I care about is doing the guy in, picking on you, twisting the wrist that's turning the screw. All I care about is love. Oh, yeah. Ya ba ba do 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 do. Oh yeah. Here's my office. Thank you, sweetheart. Ugh. Right. Well, hello, Andy.
Amos. My name is Amos.
Right. Did you bring the rest of the $5,000?
Well, yeah, here's 300 I borrowed from the guys at the garage, 500 from my insurance, and 700 on the building loan fund.
That's $2,000.
That's all I got so far.
What about her father?
Well, I phoned him yesterday, and he said he'd probably be able to raise some money later.
You're a liar. I spoke to her father myself, and you know what he told me? That his daughter went to hell 10 years ago, and she could stay there forever before he'd spend a cent to get her out.
I'll give you $20 a week on my salary. I'll give you notes with interest, double, triple, till every cent is paid.
You know, that is touching. But I've got a motto, and that motto is this: play square. Dead square. Now, when you came to me yesterday, I didn't ask if she was innocent. I didn't ask if she was guilty. No foolish questions like that, now did I? No. All I asked was, have you got $5,000? And you said yes. But you haven't got $5,000. So I figure you're a dirty liar.
I'm sorry, Mr. Flynn.
But I took her case, and I'll keep it because I play square. Now, here's what we're going to do. By tomorrow morning, I'll have her name on every front page as the hottest little jazz slayer since Velma Kelly. Then we announce we're going to hold an auction to raise money for her defense. They'll buy anything she's ever touched: shoes, dresses, underwear. Plus, we announce if by due process of law she gets hanged, the stuff triples in value. I'll give you 20% of everything we make over $5,000. And that's what I call playing square.
I don't know, Mr. Flynn.
You see, it's like this, Andy. Either I get the entire $5,000, or you'll rot in jail before I bring you to trial. Now look, in a few minutes there will be a whole bunch of photographers and reporters, and that sob sister from the Evening Star is coming for this press conference. Mary Sunshine. Mary Sunshine, my one true love.
Mary Sunshine is gonna interview me. Holy crap!
Hey! And pipe down on the swearing too, sweetheart. From here on in, you say nothing rougher than oh dear. Get it? Now look, in a few minutes, when that press conference starts, we have to go after the sympathy from the press. They're not all pushovers like that Mary Sunshine is. Chicago is a tough town. It's gotten so tough that they'll shoot the girls right out from under you. But there's one thing that they can never resist, and that is a reformed sinner. So I've decided to rewrite the story of your life from convent to jail. Get this. Beautiful southern home, every luxury and refinement, parents dead, educated at the Sacred Heart, a fortune swept away, a runaway marriage, a lovely, innocent girl bewildered by what's happened. Young, full of life, innocent, you were caught up by the mad whirl of a great city. Jazz, cabarets, liquor, sit down! You were drawn like a moth to the flame. But now, the mad whirl has ceased. A butterfly crushed on the wheel. You have sinned and you are sorry.
That's so beautiful.
Now, when they ask you why you killed him, all you can remember is a fearful quarrel. And he came toward you with that funny look in his eye, and he threatened to kill you. And get this, you both reached for the gun. That's your grounds, self-defense.
Mr. Flynn, the reporters are here.
Let him in, Butch. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Sunshine, I'm sure you all know my client, Miss Roxy Hart.
I am just so flattered y'all came out to see little old me. I guess you want to know why I shot him, the rat.
Sit down, dummy.
Mr. Billy Flynn sings the press conference rag. Notice how his mouth never moves. Almost.
Mississippi. Very wealthy.
Where are they now?
6 feet under, but she was granted one more start, the Convent of the Sacred Heart.
When'd you get here?
1920.
How old were you?
Don't remember.
Then what happened?
I met Amos, and he stole my heart away, convinced me to elope one day.
A convent girl? A runaway marriage? Oh, it's too terrible, you poor, poor dear.
Who's Fred Paisley?
My ex-boyfriend.
Why'd you shoot him?
I was leaving.
Was he angry?
Like a madman, still I said, friend, move along. She knew that she was doing wrong.
Then describe it.
He came toward me
With the pistol.
from my bureau.
Did you find him?
Like a tiger, he had strength and she had none, and yet we both reached for the gun. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, we both, oh yes, we both, oh yes, we both reached for the gun, the gun, the gun, the gun. Oh yes, we both reached for the gun, for the gun. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, they both, oh yes, they both, oh yes, they both reached for the gun, the gun, the gun, the gun. Understandable, understandable. Yes, it's perfectly understandable. Comprehensible, comprehensible. Not a bit reprehensible. It's so defensible.
How you feeling?
Very frightened.
Are you sorry?
Are you kidding?
What's your statement?
All I'd say is, though my choo-choo jumped the track, I'd give my life to bring him back. Stay away from jazz and liquor and the men who played for fun. That's the thought that came upon me when we both reached for the gun.
Understandable, understandable.
Yes, it's perfectly understandable. Comprehensible, comprehensible. Not a bit reprehensible. It's so defensible. Let me hear it. A little louder. Both reach for the gun. Reach for the gun.
Roxy sobs! I'd give anything to bring him back!
You want to know something? I always wanted my name in the papers. Before Amos, I used to date this well-to-do, ugly bootlegger. He used to like to dress me up, take me out, and show me off. Ugly guys like to do that. Once, in the paper, it said, Gangland's Al Capelli seen at Che Vito with cute redhead Corinne. That was me. I clipped it out and saved it. And now look, Roxy rocks Chicago. Look, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Not that the truth really matters, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. I am older than I ever intended to be. All my life, I wanted to be a dancer in vaudeville. Oh yeah, have my own act and everything, but no, thank you. No, it was just one big world full of no life. And then Amos came along. Sweet, safe Amos, who never says no. You know, some guys are like mirrors, and when I catch myself in Amos's face, I'm always a kid. You can love a guy like that. So I gave up on the whole vaudeville idea because you figure after all those years, opportunity sort of just passed you by. Oh, but it ain't. Oh, no, but it ain't. If this Flynn guy gets me off, and with all of this publicity, I could still get into vaudeville. I could still have my own act. Now it got me a world full of yes. The name on everybody's lips is gonna be Roxy. The lady raking in the chips is gonna be Roxy. I'm gonna be a celebrity. That means somebody everyone knows. They're gonna recognize my eyes, my hair, my teeth, my legs, my nose. From just some dumb mechanic's wife, I'm gonna be Roxy, who says that murder's not an art, and who, in case she doesn't hang, can say she started with a bang. Roxy Hart, ooh, I'm gonna have me a swell act too. I'll get a boy to work with. Oh hell, I'll get two boys. It'll frame me better. Think big, Roxy. Think big. Do I look okay? Is this okay? Good. I got it. The name on everybody's lips is gonna be Roxy. The lady raking in the chips is gonna be Roxy. She's gonna be a celebrity. That means somebody everyone knows. Yeah. They're gonna recognize her eyes, her hair, her teeth, my legs, my nose.
person.
From just some dumb mechanic's wife, I'm gonna be singing Roxy. Who says that murder's not an art? And who, in case she doesn't hang, can say she started with a bang? Roxy Hart. Ooh, 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 ooh. Roxy, think of those autographs I'll sign. Good luck to ya, Roxy. And I'll appear in a lavalier that goes all the way down to my waist. But always in the best of taste. Ooh, I'm a star. And I love the audience, and the audience loves me for loving them, and I love them for loving me, and we all just love each other. And that's 'cause none of us got enough love in our childhoods. And that's showbiz, kid. I'm gonna be Roxy. And a star. And Sophie Tucker will feign, I know, to see her name get billed below. Foxy, Roxy Hart. Ooh. Those are my dancers. Roxy's nightie raises $200.
Mama, you know I'm not a jealous person, but every time I see that tomato's face on the front page, it drives me nuts.
Well, then I got some bad news for you, baby.
What do you mean?
I mean the tour, it's canceled.
Canceled?
Well, your name hasn't been in the papers a lot recently, and I've been getting calls from the boys at William Morris all day. We don't want her. We've lost interest. She's washed up. She's a bum. You know how it hurts Mama to hear that about someone she cares for?
Yeah.
Yeah, all you read about today is that Hart kid. Oh.
Hey, Mama, I've got an idea. Suppose I talk Hart into doing that sister act with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Velma Kelly in an act of desperation.
My sister and I had an act that couldn't flop. My sister and I were headed straight for the top. My sister and I made a vow a week at least. Oh yeah. But my sister is now unfortunately deceased. Oh, I know it's sad, of course, but a fact is still a fact. And now all that remains is the remains of a perfect double act. Roxy, do you know you are exactly the same size as my sister? You would fit in her wardrobe perfectly. Why don't I show you some of the act? Watch this! First I'd drums, then she'd saxophone, then we'd together, but I can't do it alone. Then she'd, then I'd, then we'd, but I can't do it alone. She'd say, what's your sister like? I'd say, men. She'd say, you're the cat's meow. Then we'd wow the crowd again when she'd go. I'd go. We'd go. And then those two bad Johnnies did look round to cheer the best attraction in town. They nearly tore the balcony down. And we'd say, okay, boys, we're going home, but here's a few more parting shots. And this we did in perfect unison. Now you've seen me going through it. You may think there's nothing to it, but I simply cannot do it alone.
Well, boy, they sure got lousy floor shows in jails nowadays. I mean, there was a time when you could go to jail. and get a really-
Roxy, I'll level with you.
Listen, what did Mama just tell you? It's me they want now. I'm a star. A big star. Single.
Thanks.
Nothing personal. You'd understand.
Nothing personal. Nothing's ever personal. Like a deserted bride on her wedding night, all alone and shaking with fright, her brand new hubby nowhere in sight. I simply cannot do it alone.
Well, here's the way I got the story. There's this Kitty something or other. I didn't catch her last name. Anyway, she's some sort of heiress. Her folks are in pineapples, grapefruit, something like that. Well, she's playing house in a north side apartment with a guy named Harry. Last night, this Kitty dame comes home. Harry's already in bed. She goes to change, and when she returns, she notices something rather odd.
Oh, Harry!
Ooh! You gonna believe what you see or what I tell ya?
What I see! Oh my! I just have a question.
Oh, gentlemen, please. My client will be happy to answer. Ow! My client will be happy to answer all of your questions. Ugh! Would you stop biting me, damn it? I'll get hydrophobia.
I am not answering any more questions.
Come on, dearie, I'm gonna show you to your suite. You're going to love it. There's a bed, and we have our
Wait
own
a minute. Do you know who my father is? Well, he owns all of Hawaii. So let go of me, you chunk of lead.
Right over here. My client will be happy to answer all your questions, and afterwards, I will give you an interview myself.
Mr.
How does
Flynn.
that sound? Hey, Trixie. Hi.
Trixie.
Oh, I meant Roxy. Boy, what a hellion, huh? And a socialite, too. Did you know that her mother owns all of the pineapples in Hawaii? Wow.
What do I care about pineapples? Did you get my trial date?
Take it easy, kid. I'll get to it.
Mr. Flynn, there's a couple of things I'd like to discuss about my trial, too.
Hi, Velma.
Hi.
First things first. Miss Sunshine.
Pineapples. I got a feeling you're in trouble, Roxy.
Socialite. You lose again, Velma.
There's only one person who can help you now, Roxy.
There's only one person who can help you now, Velma.
And now, Miss Roxy Hart and Miss Velma Kelly sing a song of unrelenting determination and unmitigated ego.
One thing I know, and I've always known, I am my own best friend. Baby's alive, but baby's alone, and baby's her own best friend. Manny's the guy who told me he cares, but they were scratching my back, 'cause I was scratching theirs. And trusting to luck, that's only for fools. I play in a game where I make the rules. And rule number one, from here to the end, is I am my own best friend. Three Musketeers who never say die are standing here this minute. Me, myself, and I. If life is a school, I'll pass every test. If life is a game, I'll play it the best. 'Cause I won't give in, and I'll never bend. And I am my own best friend. What the hell was that? Mr. Flynn, Miss Sunshine, and all your reporters. Oh, don't worry about me. It's just that I'm going to have a baby. A baby? Crap! And all that
Have you ever imagined the sweet sensation of tasting a fruity smoothie in a bowl at Nectar